Well, I'm kind of late with this today, and to be honest with you, I don't have anything. I went to Cinema Wasteland Saturday. The medication I was taking made me groggy and shit like that, but I felt I needed to be up there. I needed to connect with some people I hadn't seen in a while, and pretty much just wandered around for 5.5 hours talking to old friends, fans, meeting some new people. Big shout out to the Toledo brothers that I just met up there too. Walked up to Michelle Bauer and said, you know something, over 35 years ago I stood behind you and was your bodyguard for like 3 days. Same with Brink Stevens. And it was nice to see them again. I got to chat a little bit with Fred Owen Ray. Son of Froggy, Big Mike showed up. Haven't seen him in years. Art Ettinger from Ultraviolent. Just was, nice seeing some people that I hadn't seen in a long time. And it sort of drove it home to me that I don't really think I'll be at conventions anymore. 5 hours there just basically standing around talking and chatting just sort of beat the shit out of my body because I guess I'm that out of shape. And I came back here and was thinking, and I was reflecting over, it's been over 30 something years since I started doing this. And, some good, some bad, some indifferent. Started out, chiller theater and a rundown little movie theater in East Rutherford, the Williams Center that was basically falling down, and then that moving to Fairleigh and Rutherford, then Fairleigh and Teaneck, then to the hotels, then to become the monster show that it is today. But, the problem with a lot of this stuff is when you come up with guys like Dave Friedman, Ted V. Michaels, Herschel Gordon Lewis, Gary Kent, Sid Haig, Gary Clark, Tim Thomerson, guys that, you grew up watching and admired their work and stuff. And you just see it go from this whole, intimate, fan-friendly thing to these monster conventions with all their photo ops and their, bells and whistles and everything designed to basically take every nickel from the fan without giving too much back. I mean, is anybody's signature worth $100? Is anybody worth standing next to getting a picture taken for $100? Because I never used to do that. So it's sort of bittersweet because I was there for the beginning, and it's just not something that really works for me anymore. I mean, Cinema Wasteland was always this intimate, grindhouse drive-in, deal, and they had really great guests, and I had a really great run up there for a lot of years. But then shit changes, and it just becomes, who dies with the most toys, or who has the newest, resurrected, DVD, Blu-ray, whatever. And to me, it sort of loses something in the translation. As for myself, I guess I've lived my dream. I always wanted to write, and I got the opportunity to write for some publications, a bunch of them, and managed to self-publish a run of, 21 issues of one magazine and 4 of another one, and write a couple, autobiographies and some fiction books, and I enjoyed doing that, and I still want to do some of it, but I guess that's part of living the dream, and part of living the dream is you get a few nightmares thrown in with shit that goes wrong. So I just had to sit back and reflect on this thing. Like I said, a lot of years tied up in this stuff, a lot of energy. Making friends and then losing friends to the ravages of time and things like that. It's, like I said, kind of bittersweet because when I think of all the guys that I came up with that, around my age, younger, that just aren't here because of something happened, health issues, accidents, COVID, it's, really sad. There's only, actually from, the original group of Chiller, there's only so many of us left. And, going from con to con and different things, it's like, it was a good experience for a while, and then being able to run panels at Cinema Wasteland and being able to pack a room with my stories and interviewing such luminaries as Jamie Gillis, Bill Greffe, God, I'm trying to think how many other people we had up there, Lynn Lowry, Tom Atkins, God, Carter Stevens, Long Gene Silver, Annette, oh God, Janie Hamilton, Sika, ton of people, ton of memories up there, a ton of work I did, and sometimes I'm beat down because I said I suffer from depression and shit like that, but overall I got to look at this thing and probably I accomplished more than I ever, thought I would accomplish doing this thing, as a sideline. So, yeah, it's sort of bittersweet, and I just see that most of these fan-friendly conventions are seeming to fall by the wayside. I don't see any advertisements for Motor City Nightmares anymore, or the Monster Bash. So, as fans get older, and medical things start, and you get bills and stuff like that, you sort of like don't have the money to spend on these things, and sometimes just the admission is cost prohibitive. So, like I said, this is just a reflection. Sorry I got nothing really good for today, but, I got home, went out with my buddy Ross Meyer from Iowa for breakfast yesterday, because I see him only once a year if this continues. And, I've had, you forge relationships doing this. I mean, I got to go back to Rockaway Flea Market Past Midnight Video. I still am in contact with people from that. I'm in contact with people with Chiller, some from Monster Mania, some here, some there, Liquidators, all the other stuff. I mean, there's always people hanging around that have been in that certain part of my life, and I appreciate that, and I appreciate my fans and my friends deeply. So I will be moving onward and upward. Just today's like an off day, and I really didn't have anything, and I really didn't just want to, make up something. I got some movies I got to check out, but this weekend, like I said, was pretty much dedicated to, reconnecting with old friends and fans, and sort of burning the hatchet with some people too. So that's all I got today. Like I said, I appreciate everyone out there deeply. I care about you guys. I'm grateful for your support. You got me through some rough times, last few months with Boots and everything going south. But like I said, onward and upward. So again, my sincere thanks for everything you guys have done for me. And I know I've done a lot for a lot of people out there. A lot of shit I don't advertise I do, but that's just me. So I'll get something together for Wednesday. So until then, thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in. Above all, stay safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.